Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. From this session, we are going to start another important series for Angular where we will be talking about the concept lazy loading. Okay, so here what we will do, firstly I'll explain you the concept in theoretical manner. We will discuss all the pointers that will answer your question. What is lazy loading, why do we use it, and what are the benefits of utilizing the lazy loading concept. Once theoretical thing is done, then we will discuss few more sessions related to this concept along with some practical example. Okay, but before we proceed further with this all of these sessions, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for timing we are just mainly focusing on how to use how to understand lazy loading concept, but prior to that you should know about the basic stuff of Angular also. Okay, and for the sequential content you can refer the Sharmit digital course book, which is freely available in the description box. So from there you can take a reference. There you will find more than 3000 plus resources available in both Hindi as well as the English language. So from there you can take a reference. Okay, alright, so let's get started. Here you can see we have firstly put the main heading, that is Angular 19 course by Sharmit. Post that, this is the question which will be answered by these 20 points. So I have noted down 20 points, and I'm sure after discussing these 20 points, there is no need to prepare anything extra for the interviews, because it will answer all your questions here. Okay, so let's go one by one. So first question is, what is lazy loading concept? So you can simply say that lazy loading means loading code only when it is needed. Okay, so if you have if you have created an application, and in that application you are loading the code only when it is needed, then that thing is considered as a lazy loading. Okay, so instead of loading the entire application at one go, what we will do, we will simply go one by one and load only when it is needed. Okay, so you can simply say that not all part of the app load at startup, but only when the user navigate to them. Okay, so it will be load only when user navigate to them, not all part of the application will get loaded at the time of startup. So let me take one simple example. So suppose we are working on an application where on a page we have 5 links. Okay, so instead of loading all 5 modules at a time, what we will do, when user click on link 1, it will load only that part. When user click on link 2, it will load only that part. So by doing this thing, we can say that we are implementing the lazy loading concept, because it is not loading all the part of the application at startup. Instead, it only loads when the user navigate to them. Okay, so I hope this session is clear to all of you, and this point is clear to all of you. Now we will move further for the further points. Okay, so second point is, it improves performance by reducing the initial bundle size. Yes, so if you are not loading all the things together, then it will for sure improve the performance by reducing the initial bundle size. Okay, then we have next thing, that is it speed up the first page load time by fasting the initial rendering. Okay, so yes, it is also true that it speed up the first page load time, because now we are not loading all the things together, and that is the reason it will speed up the first page load time, because it will load only when it is needed, not all the time. Okay, then we have fourth point, it helps large application load faster and feel lightweight. Why? Because in larger application there are multiple modules, there are multiple routes, but it is not loading all the things together. It will load only when it is needed, and due to which you can say that it helps large application load faster and feel lightweight. Okay, then we have fifth point, in Angular lazy loading is done at route level. Okay, so yes, it will be performed at the route level, not at the application level, because we are talking about in terms of lazy loading routing concept, right? So in Angular you can say that lazy loading is done at route level on feature based, according to the features. Okay, Then we have sixth question. Angular 19 uses load component and load children for lazy loading. So later also, like when we are going to implement this thing in practical example, so at that time we will see like how load component or load children component, load component and load children are utilized in order to implement the lazy loading concept. Okay. Then we have 7th point, modules are not required anymore because now components can be lazy loaded directly. So here you can say that modules are not required anymore, like components can be lazy loaded directly into the application. Then we have 8th point, lazy loaded routes load their component only when the route is visited. So same thing we discussed with example, that when we have multiple links, so it will load only when the particular route is navigated or visited. Okay. 9th point says this avoids loading unused component at initial app started. Yes, this is true, because now we are not loading everything at startup. We are deciding what to load and what not to load. So it simply skip that part if it is not needed. 10th point says it reduces memory used by loading code in a smaller chunk. Yes, so it loads the data into a smaller chunks. Chunks means a smaller piece, not at a time. Okay, not entire code, but it will divide the things into chunks and then load it, just to reduce the memory usage. Okay. In 11th point, it says it supports code splitting. Each route gets its own JS file. Yes, so here you can say that it supports the code splitting. Then we have 12th point, it minimizes network load by loading the code on demand. Yes, so if you are loading the code on demand, then it will minimize the network load by loading the things on demand. Then we have 13th point, ideal for large sections like admin panel, dashboard, reports, etc. So this is applicable only. This is ideal, means preferably used for admin panel, dashboard and report, because they are large application sections, and it will handle the things properly with lazy loading concept. Then we have 14th point, it improves the user experience by making the app feel snappier. Yes, it loads the things faster, so it improves the user experience. It enhances or improves the user experience. 15th point, lazy loading is opposite to the eager loading. Now what is eager loading? You can say that by default what we have learned so far is eager loading. I'll tell you how to implement lazy loading, but you can say that it is completely opposite to the eager loading, because in eager loading everything loads at the upfront, not on demand altogether. But in case of lazy loading, it will load only the needed thing. Okay. Then we have 16th point, it can be combined with preloading strategies for balanced performance. Okay, so it will be it can be combined with preloading strategies for balanced performance. Then we have 17th point, it helps maintain scalability in medium to large application. Then we have 18th point, highly recommended for routes not required on the first load. 19th point says work seamlessly in standalone Angular application. That means Angular after 16 plus we are talking about 19. So yes, it works seamlessly in the standalone. Then we have last point that shows lazy loading reduce the time to interactive TTI of your application. So if you want to improve your TTI or time to interactive, then in that case you can say you are good to go with a lazy loading concept. So these are the all just pointers. So don't worry if you don't get anything from this. We will discuss each and everything with practical examples also, so that will also clear your concepts in a better way. For now, we just discuss like what are the pointers that are supposed to we are supposed to go through in order to learn this concept, because theoretical things are also important. I know like most of the developers don't want to go through the theoretical things, but yeah, it is important, because somewhere like you are going to someday like you might have to answer the things to your client or maybe to your interviewer or any other persons like that. So in that case, like you're good to go with theoretical concept, and here we just discussed all the pointers that are related to lazy loading concept. Okay, so yeah, I hope today's session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss new things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.